the most important thing to do is whatever you do, give your 100%. Be in the moment, be in the present, and enjoy it thoroughly. The learning process is made more fun and enjoyable. Learning all of it is always useful.
Hello everyone, I'm your host Seema and I welcome you all to a brand new episode on Great Principles. What comes time and again is that behind every great person there has been one or more great teachers inspiring them. Scientists, writers, leaders, lawyers, industrialists, business people, the list goes on. All are guided by the hand of a teacher. May not always be in the traditional sense, but with always a teacher. Inspired by his teacher, my today's guest joined the education domain and is making a difference in the lives of youth today. Please join me in welcoming our ardent educator of the day, Mr. Om Sharma, Director, Shastri Group of Institutes, Pune. Welcome to Great Principles, sir. We are really honored to have you with us.
Honor is all mine.
Sir, there is so much to know from you because the person who is inspired by teachers always want to make something more their life more worthwhile. So let me begin by knowing about your journey. What was your story like? Where it all started, and why did you join the education domain? What keeps you going in here?
So basically, I'm born and brought up in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, and I started my formal education. And I was not a very uh, keen student because earlier I always used to find that what is the reason of studying, how is this relevant, how it will come in handy, how it will be useful to me. And with that, initially it was little. I was not very inclined towards studies, but slowly then I moved to a residential school. There I met few amazing teachers who guided me and uh, showed me that why learning is so rewarding, why it is so interesting, why it is required, and why I should learn. So that really touched my life, and that from that point onward, it changed my approach towards learning. And from there, I uh, after completing my 12th, I joined engineering. I did my engineering. Then I realized that uh, maybe I'm not the right person to be engineer because I want to do something different. Then I did my hotel management. That what interested me, and then I started working with ITC. I worked with Taj. I worked with Leela's, and then I realized that still there is something more I can do. So then I realized that education is best place to be, and since then I'm into education, and I love my job.
All right. So you're still an engineer because you're still engineering so many lives, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
So, being an educator is like wearing a crown of thorns. It's not easy, there are so many commitments, challenges. So, how do you face all these things, and who has been your inspiration in this journey?
So there have been so many teachers who have motivated me, and uh, then I realized when I was in hotel industry that there is so much which can be done. There are so much uh, where people finding it difficult to sustain, find it difficult to live life how it is supposed to be. So then I realized I think I should do something more. Then I just went back on my journey and realized what really helped me. Then I realized the teachers who connected with me, the teachers who gave me the purpose, gave me the idea that what life is about. And then I realized maybe education is the right place where I should be, and uh, really that is something which I want to do. I want to help students understand, uh, to help them reach their true potential. So a lot of time, until unless you are your ideas are clear, your concepts are clear about life, it is very difficult to find the right path. So
Yeah.
my ultimate aim is to guide students and help them go through their ups and downs and ensure that they are on the right track and right path.
Absolutely, very much required. And talking about that, that guiding the children to be on the right path. Ultimately, we all are getting educated for that is one is to know, understand the life better, right and wrong path, and also to earn a livelihood. But I see a wide gap between the education and the job market. So how to bridge the gap between today's education and tomorrow's job, and what can be done at school front? Because when students enter into college, they are very raw, and the college expectations the is altogether different. So I'd like to know your opinion on it.
So yes, there are a few challenges. As I'm from Shastri Group of Institutes, we have school and colleges under our umbrella. So we see there is a lot of gap which needs to be filled, which we are trying to do as in our curriculums. But uh, there are few changes which are required in the curriculums which are aligned with the current industry, but at the same time there are few basics which are always going to be the same. Until unless those basics are clear, you cannot move ahead of the ladder. So a lot of time we feel that what we are studying it is irrelevant or how it is useful, but you don't know what really you want to do, because and what will come in handy in your life, which concept, which logic will really help you to solve a certain problem. So I feel the more you learn, the better it is, because knowledge always gives you power to solve problems and live a better life.
All right. So you agree that our system of education, which kind of pushes us to study all the subjects, definitely help us in some or the other way.
Yes, it does. It really does. Because let's say an engineer, if he goes into the industry, and let's say his client is an art designer or painter, he can design a website for them. He can do so many things. So, unless you have that basic knowledge, it is quite difficult to understand and give your best. So, uh, so everything is integrated. What can come in handy at what time you cannot predict. So learning all of it is always useful.
Absolutely. And with so many job opportunities available today, and there is so much to do, kids are connected in a very collaborative world. And I think Shastri Group also is trying to, prepare children for the globally competitive market. So I would like to know more about Shastri Group. What is exactly that you're doing, and how is it helping the children to sustain as this tough world and be a global citizen?
So, first of all, I would like to tell you about Shastri Group of Institutes. We were established in 2001, and we started with aeronautical engineering. And then in 2003, we started with school, as the people around requested us that there's no good school around. It's something you should look into. So in 2003, our founder chairman started the school, which is named as Prestige Public School. Then after some time, we also started Aircraft Maintenance Engineering College, which is called as Wings College of Aviation Technology. Then we found out that aerospace engineering is going to be the future. As you know, that there are so many defense industry which is booming, and there are so many defense contracts which are coming up. So we have been planning for this since 2009. Uh, we had we've been running aerospace engineering course where students go into defense sector. They can go into missiles development and rocket development and satellites and whatnot. So other than that, we also have an MBA and MCA college which is affiliated to Pune University and AICT approved. Then we also have a CBSE school, a junior college, and short-term courses where we train students for cabin crew and airport management. Uh, that's pretty much it. So that's what we do. And the basic idea of Shastri Group of Institutes and the concept around which the whole institution and whole trust works is laid down by our founder chairman, Mr. Anshul Sharma. And his idea has always been uh, any institution, any education institution is for student. So anything and everything which is designed, which is planned, has to be student centric. So you have to put student at the center of your decisions, your planning, your management, to ensure that the student is on the winning end.
All right.
And along with that, we also focus on uh, all round development, because as you know that physical, mental, spiritually, and academically, socially, in all these areas you need to be good in order to be truly successful. Because if you, as recently Mr. Junjunwala had taught us, that you might have a lot of money, but if you don't have your health, you will not be able to enjoy it for long.
Certainly. Having said that, sir, may I know from you that what is the criteria of selection of the students into the college?
So, for which course? So that will help
Like,
me
yeah,
give you.
as you mentioned about the aerospace engineering, which is a new thing that you are coming up. So for that, how do you select the students? Is there any competitive exam or some common entrance, something like that?
No, so aerospace engineering we have been running since 2009. Before that, since 2001, we have been running with aeronautical engineering. So the basic criteria is the student needs to have physics, chemistry, maths in 12th, and along with that, we have our entrance exam. Or students, if he or she has appeared IIT, JEE, or Maharashtra CET, so with the help of that, they can get the admission.
Fine.
So
So now NEP is coming in, and we are also talking about open subject selection criteria. So do you think that these kind of things are going to distract the students from the core? As you mentioned that for engineering you need to have PCM, but if that suppose a child also want to opt for humanities, and now NEP will give him that power, what would be the scenario in front of student? Will they be more lost, or it will change their focus somewhere?
what I think, they'll be more confused because very few students really understand what exactly they want. Uh, because I've seen a lot of engineers after doing engineering, they have got into marketing, few have got into designing, mechanical engineers are going into software companies and whatnot. So, what exactly drives you is it's something quite difficult to boil down to. And I think it's quite early for a student of 15, 16 years to decide on that what exactly he's looking for and choosing the right subjects for it. So I think it's quite difficult, but for management, it will be quite challenging. But if chosen well by the students, it will be very good for the students, because ultimately they'll be studying the subjects which they think they have passion in, and they really want to learn those subjects. So that should bring in more of learning and more of enthusiasm with those subjects. That is what is expected. But as far as I see, that the number of such students is quite less. So uh, let's see how it goes, because until it is done, you don't know how it is going to turn out to be.
Absolutely. Hearing you, you reminded me when we, just binge surf the OTT platforms. Earlier, when we had the time fixed that this thing is going to come, we just used to watch that. But now we just keep surfing and we end up watching nothing. So, this is the case of students also with so much on the platter. They get confused, as you rightly said. It's very difficult to choose, and making wise choice is the toughest decision. Let's see, let's hope for the best. So, on this guidance note from you, we have reached to the very interesting segment of the show, which is called the rapid fire round. Sir, you need to answer me in one word or a single sentence would also do. Right. So, here goes my very first question to you. Which was your last read book that made an impact on you?
The autobiography of a yogi.
For Yogi. All right. A movie or series you binged watched more than once.
Movie Matrix series, no, I don't think any series I have watched twice. One is good enough for me. I get the idea, and one
All
it's okay.
right.
One.
You spend your recreational time indulging in activities like
Playing tennis, swimming. In sports, I have played almost all sports other than cricket, but uh, I love to play. I love to watch movies or series. So there's so much to do, but less time available.
all right. Okay. What was your fondest memory of high school?
Of high school, I would say the farewell.
The farewell. Definitely. Okay. Okay, fine. Next question to you. What talent would you want to possess if you could?
I wish I could read faster, because I'm still a slow reader. Matlab, if anyone would read a book in 3 days, I would take at least 15 to 20 days because I read it thoroughly in depth. So that is something which I look forward to, that I can just gaze and uh, know what is there on the page. So that is something I would really love to learn. And
Okay, got it. So, if your students had their 100% attention to you for 30 seconds, what would you say to them?
I just tell them that the most important thing to do is whatever you do, give your 100%. Live in the present. When you're in the class, be in the class. When you're in the ground, be on the ground 100%. Play 100% on the ground. When you are having fun, have it full fledged. So should not be that you're sitting in the class and thinking about sports, in the sports, thinking about studies. So be in the moment, be in the present, and enjoy it thoroughly. That is what I always tell to my students.
Okay, and what is the lesson about life that you had learned from your students?
What I have learned is that every individual is unique. Everyone is going through different challenges, different problems. A lot of times, we think that that particular student is not behaving well or is not responding in a particular manner how we expect. But a lot of time it happens that he or she has her or his own story, own background, because of which that particular individual is shaped that way. So sometimes we need to consider that and help them to be better version of themselves.
Absolutely. We all are so judgmental these days, we don't have time to ponder upon what is going on in others' life at all. Yes. So it was wonderful to know you in this segment. A lot of interesting things came up here. So now we have reached to the last question of the show, which is also called the expert talk question. So, sir, here talking about the expert talk question, I would like to know from you about examination. Our dear Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji, also, said that treat exams like a festival. But tell me, is it really possible in our country? Because everything is judged by grades. If you don't get grades, you are lost. We as parents, ask me, my children are going to appear for their midterm and I'm already under stress. So how do you handle this examination stress, and what role does grades really play in your life?
So basically, what I tell my students is that let's say we are preparing for a game, and we have been practicing. The whole team has been practicing, and it's been 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and you haven't played any game, and suddenly the game day comes, but there is no scoring, there is no winning, no losing. What do you think? Would you really enjoy that kind of match, or the practice, the efforts which you have put in for 5 6 months, and there's no result in that? There's no judgment, there's no element of winning or losing in there. So normally the students, how they respond, no sir, there will be no fun in that. The same goes with what we study as well. That what all we have studied, what all teachers have taught us, how much we have grasped and how much we have not. So examination just help us finding out that. I think it is really not about grades. It is not about. It is more about how well you have learned. So it is an opportunity to understand that how well you have learned, how well you have picked up things which you are supposed to, and whatever is remaining, just work on that and get it done the next time. As simple as it is, because it's just the parent pressure, peer pressure, which really takes the best out of the kids, because the whole fun of learning and evaluating that how good I have done, it really takes away the fun out of it. The whole pressure thing and grade thing and comparing thing. The whole grade thing came out just because that percentage were earlier a lot compared with different students and all that. So because of that, the education system had suggested we should do grades. But even in grades, there is comparison. So ultimately, we have to focus more on the mindset, which will help us in longer term, because actually it is not competition with anyone else, it is with the self. Let's say if I have scored 70 this time, I should focus and try that I score better in the next examination, so that I keep evolving myself, I keep upgrading myself, I ensure that I am growing as an student and in my career as well, in my capacities and skills as well.
So true, I wish this could be the real life scenario also because I've heard this so many times, beta पढ़ाई करो exams है. I've not heard this beta पढ़ाई करो कि कुछ सीखना है तुमको. It's the story of every house, every school, everywhere. Study, your exams are approaching. I mean, this reinforcement needs to be done that पढ़ाई is not for exams. You don't study for exams, study for learning, right? So I'm sure even you must have heard in your childhood, beta पढ़ाई करो exam सर पे.
True, actually, that puts in so much of pressure on
Yeah.
students that slowly that pressure removes the fun of learning. So I've observed and I've seen that if you remove that pressure, it really becomes fun-filled uh, process. I do that a lot with my child, and with her, we have tried that whatever she learns in the school, how she can do or implement it in her life. So, as a parent, we have to ensure that whatever we are learning, how we can use that in real life. Just as good as that you are going on a car, just adding the last four digits of the car which is in front of you is fun activity. So there's so much which you can do, and it really makes the whole learning process fun, and it makes them realize how important the addition is in the class. So the next time when they are going to the class, when the teacher is teaching them maths, they'll have more curiosity, they'll have more to learn, and they'll see, okay, let's learn something new today. Even in the school as well, we focus and try that everything which we teach, how we can uh, put the practical angle to it, that how it is useful, and we give them different assignments and projects which help them understand that how this concept is relevant and really used in real life.
Absolutely, sir. So, do you think that if cutoff is, eliminated when you enter into the college, there is a cutoff of percentage that this much is required. If that is eliminated, this stress, this pressure from parents and from for the students automatically will get abolished too.
See, the pressure is of what? Basically, failure, right? But have has anyone really failed? No. If you see really in your class, let's say, there must be someone who must be in top of the class. There will be someone who would be the backbencher, who would not be doing so very well. But if you see in life, are they really in the category you can say that they are failing in their life? I think not, right? So everyone makes good with their life. It's just that to reach the true potential, what they really love and they can contribute to the world, that's what we should focus on, because we are just in the rat race. The whole fun of learning, giving, making the fun process, taking life as a how it is supposed to be, all of that is spoiled. Uh, the fun goes away. How much ever money
Very
you
true.
can earn, but it is just a means. It is not. It will not give you true happiness.
Absolutely, sir. Very true. So, Om, sir, uh, hearing your ideologies today, I hope our children do not just stifle under the pressure of these rigid book system and the learning system, and they emerge as future leaders of open society. So thank you so much for your valuable time. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, and I'm sure today my viewers would understand one thing, that life is about enjoying it, living in the moment, not about just giving exams and passing one after the other, but rather competing with your own self and making yourself more worthwhile. So thank you so much for your time with us. I and my team really feel privileged to have you on our show.
Privilege is all mine. It was great having this discussion with you. It is so refreshing. Let's hope that a lot of parents, students, teachers who have watched this video take the best out of it and ensure that they are able to use it to ensure that the learning process is made more fun and enjoyable, because without that, uh, it's not going to make this world a better place.
Certainly, sir. And with the leaders like you in the leadership role, I'm sure things are changing. Many schools are opting for more fun based gamification of learning. So let's see, hoping for the best. And I'm sure with the people like you around, at least for my children, future is definitely very bright. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Thank you.